Revolving Days by David Malouf. The introduction part would tell you David Malouf, he is an Australian poet. He's still alive, a grand old man of around 86 years now. He has won some major literary awards and prizes, but he is mainly known as a novelist. He is of Lebanese descent on his father's side. All right, so he's of mixed descent, not that true blue British, whatever. Born and brought up in Australia. He is taught at schools, universities, and colleges, and he is, you could say, an openly gay poet. I mean, that doesn't matter much to us. We're just going to look at this poem and we're trying to locate this poem in the context of the text that we are doing. All right. So here we go. Revolving Days by David Malouf. Look at the title. It says Revolving Days. Days as in days that were not still, days that were not steady. So he's speaking about an experience from his youth, a particular occasion wherein he had fallen in love. And the topic is not something alien to us, right? We all have experienced this. Maybe if not till now, at least you would be experiencing it at least sometime in your life. The whole buoyancy, the whole point of falling in love, and then you transform yourself. You feel so good about the whole thing. It's kind of an adrenaline rush, wherein you become somebody else. You feel so buoyant. You feel as if you're flying. You know that's the feel that love brings to you. It's kind of a dopamine rush, wherein the world becomes a better place, and there are so many songs, there are so many movies that celebrate this feeling of being in love, wherein you become somebody else altogether. You start dressing better, you want to look better for the other person, you want the happiness of the other person, you make all kinds of promises. That's love for you. That is young love. That you could call it the blush of new love, with all kinds of possibilities and all kinds of hopes and desires. So the poem, if you look at it, is divided into three stanzas. The first one with 10 lines, the second one 7, and the last one 6. So there's not much of a pattern here. But then, if you look at the lines in each of these stanzas, you can find that they are run on lines, as in a mistake, of course. See, the line is continuing on to the next line. So, these kind of lines are called run on lines. So, the one particular line is not a sentence ending with a full stop. It runs on, it goes on to the next line. So, it's a run on line. So, this continuous use of run on lines shows his state of mind. State of mind, as in his mind was also revolving in a flux, thinking about this and that, moving, fluttering. So that kind of a movement is shown through the use of these run on lines. So it's a very simple love poem. And then let's read and then see what he's trying to tell us. That year I had nowhere to go. I fell in love. A mistake, of course, but it lasted and has lasted. The old tug at the heart, the great grace unasked for, urgencies that boom under the pocket of a shirt. What I remember is the color of the shirts. I'd bought them as an experiment in ways of saying myself, hoping to catch in a window as I passed what I was to be in my new life as a lover. One mint green, one pink, the third called Ivy League, tan with darker stripes, my first button down collar. He's speaking about that one particular year. We don't know exactly which year. That one particular year, that was the year when he had all the time in the world because he did not go anywhere. He had nowhere to go. So he had all the time in the world, and then something happened. And what happened? I fell in love. So that was a momentous year wherein he fell in love. But then he calls it a mistake. A mistake, of course, but it has lasted and has lasted. So he's calling that act of falling in love as a mistake. Falling in love is something that we cannot control ourselves. It just happens. It just happens, and we don't really plan these things. These things are not planned in our life. So he says, I fell in love, it was a mistake, and this Love, it has lasted and has lasted. That is, even today, the same feeling that love is still there in his heart. So now what has happened to the love? We can look at that in the coming stanzas. So when he fell in love, what happened? The old tug at the heart, the grace unasked for, urgencies that boom under the pocket of a shirt. That is, when you are in love, you feel your heart is in your mouth. That is, your heart beats very fast. And then he's saying the old tug at the heart. So now he's remembering the past as in the time when he was in love. So that is bringing that old kind of a pain, a old pull in the heart. So when you remember fond memories, people who have gone away from your life, when you remember your old love, you have this kind of a pulling at the heart, something pulling at your heartstrings. You experience that pain. The grace unasked for, that is, when you are in love, you become all the more graceful. Nobody's asking you to be that, but still you become graceful. Urgencies that boom under the pocket of a shirt. So, under the pocket of a shirt is the place where you have the heart located, right? So, when you are in love, you can hear your heart thumping loudly. So, this is the state in which you would be when you become a lover. And then he's saying, what I remember is the color of the shirts. So when I fell in love that particular year, I still remember the kind of shirts I bought. That is giving more importance to his appearance, dressing up for the occasion, dressing up to impress the lover. I had brought them as an experiment in ways of seeing myself. So he brought these shirts as an experiment because he wanted to see how he would look. He wanted to look very different because till now, till then, till the moment of falling in love, he did not really bother about dressing or getting shirts. Everything was very normal and routine. But now, as a lover, what had he done? He began this experiment. Maybe it is a makeover. He wanted to look better. He wanted to look different. So, as an experiment in ways of seeing myself, hoping to catch in a window as I passed what I was to be in my new life as a lover. So, he hoped to see himself as a better version of himself. See, when you're very well dressed and when you go somewhere outside, when you see a window that is the glass pane and all, you would look at yourself, your reflection, just to feel happy, just to reassure yourself that you're looking good. That's the way people do. Even in our college corridors and all, you have these windows wherein we find students looking at it and preening as in kind of doing their hair or pulling their shirt properly, tucking it in it properly. So that kind of a preening happens. So you think, I hope to see myself in the glass panes, in the glass windows, in my new life as a lover. Now I had become a lover. So therefore, I would be more conscious about how I look to other people. Till now, he never bothered. So you can see a total transformation in him as a lover. Earlier, he never bothered about his clothing or what he wore or whatever. But now, he's becoming more self conscious. So he's remembering the colors of the shirts, one mint green, one pink, the third called Ivy League. It's a you could say a fashion of dressing, the kind of clothes worn by students who went to Ivy League colleges in America. It's called the Ivy League. Tan, dark color with the darker stripes, my first button down collar. So love had transformed him into someone who took care of his dressing. Till then, he did not bother about it. So maybe, you could call him a clothes horse who's more conscious about his dressing. So all kinds of colors, all types of shirts with stripes, even the fashion of dressing called the Ivy League. So he used to get into all that. So that was the time he had fallen in love. We never write, but sometimes, knotting my tie at a mirror, one of those selves I had expected steps into the room. In the next room, you are waiting. You have not yet taken back the life you promised to pour into each other's mouths forever and forever, while I choose between changes to surprise you. So now, now we know that they have gone apart. That is, they are not together. We never write. We never write, as in we don't communicate with each other. So both of them have gone their separate ways. So that heady initial days of love was there, wherein he really dressed up. He wanted to uh, impress the lover. All that was there. But then now they have gone separate, or they are not together. So there's this distance between them. So we never write to each other. But sometimes knotting my tie at a mirror. So, but whenever I dress, that is when I'm wearing my tie and looking at the mirror, what happens? One of those selves I had expected steps into the room. So when I'm dressing myself, sometimes I sense, I feel as if my lover is around, and therefore I am dressing up for that lover. So one of those selves I had expected steps into the room. So he feels that the lover is coming into the room. That is, when you're missing somebody, you can sense the presence of that person. When you are deeply in love and you miss that person, you can sense their presence. So he feels that someone, that person is coming into the stepping into the room. In the next room you are waiting. So it's all imagination. In the next room you're waiting, that is, the beloved is waiting. We have not yet taken back the life we promised to pour into each other's mouths forever and ever. So saying, they had made promises. See, as young lovers, people make promises that we are going to be there together for, and we are going to be there for each other. We are going to be taking care of each other all our lives for happiness, during happiness or pain or whatever. These are the kind of promises that are made in the process of beginning a life as lovers. So we had made those promises, but we have not taken it back. That is, we have not really stopped, or we have not kind of put a full stop to the whole thing, though they have gone in different ways, or gone in opposite directions. We don't know, they are not together. While I choose between changes to surprise you. So between changes, as in maybe change of clothes. So as a lover, maybe he used to change clothes, and then he wanted to surprise the beloved. So changing clothes is again a metaphor. Changing clothes, as in changing oneself, presenting a better self, presenting a better image of oneself. All right. So it's all about dressing, undressing, wearing clothes, trying to be a different person, as a projecting of a image, projecting of an image, that is that of a lover, somebody who cares, somebody who takes the trouble to dress up for the other person. That is, when you love, you do these kind of things for your beloved. So those were the heady days. But now we don't write anymore. We are not together. But then I do miss her, and then I do feel that I sense that she is around. I feel that she is there in the next room, and then I change clothes and I dress better in the hope of surprising her. So that she's always there at the back of his mind, though physically they are not together anymore. The last stanza. Revolving days, my heart in my mouth again. I'm writing this for you, wherever you are. Whoever is staring into your blue eyes, it's me, I'm still here. No, don't worry. I won't appear out of that old time to discomfort you. And no, at this distance, I'm not holding my breath for a reply. This is the saddest part. So now he's talking about those days. Those days have changed, so it has revolved, and things have changed. So again, revolving days, my heart in my mouth again. So he's saying I can still feeling the same sense of thumping, that heartbeats, that euphoria, that heartbeat of being in love. I feel my heart is in my mouth again, and I'm writing this for you. I'm writing these lines for you, wherever you are. So he doesn't know where she is, where the beloved is. Whoever is staring into your blue eyes. So this says that maybe she has carried on, gone on with her life. She must have gone married to someone. Maybe she is in a relationship with somebody else. So there is someone else who is now staring into her blue eyes. So things have changed. She has gone on with her life. She's got married. We don't know. Maybe with somebody else. So whoever is staring into your blue eyes and wherever you are, I am writing these lines for you. It's me, I'm still here. That is, you have gone, you have changed, you have carried on with a new life, but I am still here. I am still the same old person who fell in love with you that particular year when I had my heart thumping so loudly. So the same feeling is there even today. I experience the same high even today. No, don't worry. I won't appear out of that old time to discomfort you. So now he's telling the beloved, don't worry. I will never come back into your life. All of a sudden, I will not appear in your own life, in your present life, to discomfort you because now she is in a different life. Maybe she's married and she's somebody else's wife or beloved, whatever. He's saying, don't worry, I'm not going to come and disturb the life that you have built for yourself after we drifted apart, after we moved away from each other. So I'm not going to come back into your life and create unnecessary troubles for you. And no, at this distance, I'm not holding my breath for a reply. So it's saying I don't have any expectations, and there's a lot of distance between them. So at this distance, don't think that I'm holding my breath for a reply. That is, I'm writing these lines for you. I'm still remembering that love, the promises that we made, the kind of euphoria, the kind of rush that we experienced as lovers is still there. But then I don't expect any reply from you. So it's okay. You can be silent. You can maybe you will understand that these lines are written for you. But then I don't want to hear from you. I don't have any expectations of that kind. So this is that you could say unconditional love, unconditional letting go. That is, you be happy wherever you are with whoever you have chosen to be, but then I still have feelings for you. That is, I still love you, but then I don't expect any reply, and I'm not going to come into your life and disturb the whole thing. But then what is there in my heart, it is still there. But then I have no expectations in return.